Fjöllin þerja, dimm eru ský, rafnar vaka, dáðin ný. Blóð í vindi, rætur drekka, forn sólir syngja, hjörtu vekka. Ragnarök, kalli heyrir, í stormi jörðin skelfur. Ragnarök, eldur dansar, í myrkrinu ljós og sansa. Skildir braka, stáli glæl, móðir jörð, við blóta næl. Váli grætur, örlög stýra, háva mál í hjörtum skera. Ragnarök, kalli heyrir, í stormi jörðin skelfur. Ragnarök, eldur dansar, í myrkrinu ljós og sansar. Draugar ræsa, við sverðum, við heitum vísa. Blása lúðra, binda í ráð, heimskringla skal finna sitt mál. Ragnarök, kalli heyrir, í stormi jörðin skelfur. Með Ragnarök, eldur dansar, í myrkrinu ljós og sansar. Ragnarök, kalli heyrir, í stormi jörðin skelfur. Með Ragnarök, eldur dansar, í myrkrinu ljós og sansar. Fjöllin þegja, dimm eru ský, rafnar vaka, dauðinn ný. Blóð í vindi, rætur drekka, forn sálir syngja, hjörtu vekka. Ragnarök, kalli heyrir, í stormi jörðin skelfur. Með Ragnarök, eldur dansar, í myrkrinu ljós og sansar. Skildir braka, stáli glær, móðir jörð, blóta nær. Váli grætur, örlög stýra, háva mál í hjörtum skera. Ragnarök, kalli heyrir, í stormi jörðin skelfur. Með Ragnarök, eldur dansar, í myrkrinu ljós og sansar. vísa. Við sverfum við heitum vísa. Blása, lúðra, binda í rás. Heimskringla skal finna sitt Ragnarök, Kalli heyrir í stormi, jörðin skelfur meir. Ragnarök, eldur dansar í myrkrinu, ljós og sansa. Skuggar langur og þjált, eldar dansa í nætur svið, frostar brenna kaldur við. Ragnar og kallar, kallar, jörð skal brotna, fjöllun falla. Ragnar og kallar, kallar, sverðin syngja, hjarta þungt í spá, vargur grípur sól og mána, móðir grá.
All right. Good morning. It's the 4th of January. It's 8:30 in the morning, and we're playing some D&D. We're in session 13 of Raiders of the Serpent Seas, titled fyrSta, hernaðr, which loosely translates to a first raid. But first, we need to do a recap of last week, and then if Graham is here, we will jump into it. What's up, Caesar?
Good morning, everyone. Streaming to you live from the Hippodrome Theater in Baltimore, Maryland.
And it changed scenes for a minute.
Last week, it was an entirely RP session, so sit back, relax, get your coffee out, because this one's a long one, despite the fact that believe it or not, I distilled it. Navala inspects the fairings, and the fairings are the tiny, kind of like little sailboats, for brass, and sees the rivets and ornamentation are made of it. She goes to ask the crew to help her retrieve it, but finds them all staring at Lotara, who is the wolf pup. The crew, the tales are true. These are mythical creatures. Gorm the berserker falls to his knees. The crew says wolves disappeared eons ago, and it has been foretold that a giant wolf will one day end this world. They dare not say its name. Evan tells them it is Fenris. He thinks it's just a fairy tale told to scare children. Even though he had not seen a wolf before Lotara, he believes they're just coming back from being hunted to extinction, perhaps because of stories of the giant wolf. Navala asks him if he is a man that does not believe in superstition, and he says, not in this case. Lotara growls, staring at the black cat, Luna. Evan puts a hand on her back, trying to calm her down. He can tell that when Lotara looks at him, it looks through him and sees his soul. There appears to be way more to her than meets the eye. She is way wiser than a puppy. Evan believes we should not call her a wolf in front of others, fearing for her safety. Although the crew have all taken a knee to her, Evan warns that people have dramatically different responses to superstitions. Grim wants to burn the corpses, and Snack offers to assist with that. Navala enlists the crew to pull the sunken fairing onto land, and she gets 89% of what she needs to build a brazier. This is the first time that Snack and Grim have spent any time together. Grim speaks in a very subdued manner, without her usual lively inflection. She finds that Sitha came to Grimnir long before Snack did, and is from Snack's homeworld. Snack knows her brothers and father, and was teaching her the basics of being a tinkerer, which is how Sitha enchanted Evan's longbow during our fight with Had. Snack asks Grim where she's from, and Grim tells her Vikam, and that Grims are one of the native races of Grimnir. Snack tells her that there are similar people in her world called Aquatin. Like Grim, they are very musical. When she tells her that they believe that water holds memories, Grim sarcastically responds, well, so far it hasn't helped me, before suddenly stopping herself. Snack says she thinks people have a way of explaining the mundane and the magical in the stories they tell. She hopes to learn as much as she can about Grimnir while she's here, and she'd always be willing to help Grim. The raiders have built a pyre and piled the bodies on it. Snack launches a firebolt at it. As the bodies burn, everyone except for Evan sees a woman with large bird-like wings tucked tight against her body appear in the flames. She looks fully corporeal. Navala blinks and rubs her eyes, and when she looks again, she's gone. Grim tells Snack the woman is a Valkyrie. Navala asks if they are some sort of devil that takes their soul to the blood war. And Grim explains the Valkyrie take the souls of those who were slain in battle, then burned on a pyre to the halls of the slain. There they feast and battle one another until Ragnarok arrives, and then they return to fight alongside their living descendants against the forces of ruin. Evan says the endless warring is a fate he would not be particularly happy to have. Navala remembers that we had a vision of Ragnarok right before we all met. She is suspicious of the Valkyrie and thinks the halls of the slain sound like a storage area for souls for some powerful necromancer to bring them back as undead warriors. Grimnir's death rules compared to those of her own world of Faerun are vastly different. Meanwhile, Calico gathers some of the ashes in a large box and puts it on the ship. The raiders are not pleased and are afraid we will be haunted. Calico says the slain can serve him in the afterlife, which causes Grim to ask him if he's a necromancer. He says Alden's powers can touch in those areas on occasion. Evan is concerned Calico is manufacturing a mutiny by angering the crew, but Calico says he'll take care of them. Grim sits behind the drum again to help the crew row in time. And whereas before her playing was very embellished and very musical, this is very matter-of-fact and the bare minimum. Her heart really isn't in it. Navala asks Snack about the orb she found. She found it in a caravan when she first appeared in Grimnir. The guard who captured her took it from her and said that Clan Huar would like it. Navala tells her that the orb is a priceless artifact that used to belong to her. She hopes she will find it as we are heading to the Clan Huar outpost. Snack and Navala talk about their views of the afterlife. Navala says that in her world, when a creature dies, their soul naturally goes to the destination where it belongs, unless they have made a pact with the devil, in which case their souls are whisked away to hell to fight in the eternal blood war. She is concerned the Valkyrie are interfering with that natural process here. In Snack's world, there is a deity of the dead who takes the souls where they're supposed to go. You can pay him and leave a gold coin so that he'd be more inclined to take them somewhere good versus somewhere bad. But there are dragons who do things with souls after they die, and they make the god of death very angry because he can't come collect the souls. She, like Navala, is concerned if the Valkyrie are interfering with the passage of souls. She asks Navala if there is a deity here that oversees death in general, and Navala says to ask Grim. Snack asks Grim to tell her about the gods of Grimnir and takes notes in her journal. Grim tells her the Stone Court are gods that were turned into stone. Alden is the goddess of wisdom and the first of the Volve, who are the seers. Nark is the god of the fields, and his twin Iden is the goddess of forges. Nat is the goddess of contests. Luta is the goddess of will. Palter is the god of hope, and Vani is the god of battle. The primal powers consist of Hel, the lady of the dead, along with Murgle, who was evil and was slain by Alden and turned into the land of Grimnir, and Thonir, who is her son. Snack asks more about Hel. Grim tells her if the raiders die of natural causes, they are buried in the earth, and they believe that Hel comes and gets them and takes them into the underworld. They're considered unworthy, so that's why they want to die in battle, so the Valkyrie can get them and bring them to the halls of the slain. Even worse, if they drown, they become corpse food for the great serpent that lingers in the deepest waters of the sea and are denied an afterlife entirely. Instead, they return as smaller sea snakes. As we sail, about a quarter-mile ahead, moss and vines cover a bridge that hasn't felt the press of booted feet across its well-crafted stonework in generations. 3 crows sit side by side on the low bridge wall. Upon seeing us, their orange eyes light mischievously, and they begin to caw-caw, caw-caw. Upon closer inspection, we find they are ravens. They start taunting Snack, calling her a mule and rating her low on a scale from 1 to 10. They keep insulting her until she insults them back. They start laughing excitedly and drop a package at her feet before flying away. There are 63 gold pieces and 9 electrum pieces in it. She gives 10 gold pieces each to the party. We stop for the night by the shore. Snack looks at the sky and counts how many moons there are. There is only one that she can see. She sees a constellation that looks like a sword and a shield and names it the Warrior Constellation. She makes a crude drawing of it. Everyone stays on the ship except for most of the crew and Grim. During Grim's watch, she first hears laughter coming from beyond the hill ahead. It is followed by a deep bellow, a rumbling voice, almost guttural, the speaker reciting a tale, and she catches the names of gods, Luta, Palter, and Vani. The voice continues as they crest the hill. She sees a congregation of 8, 2 elves, 2 dwarves, a halfling, a gnome, and a dark-skinned tall folk, and in their midst walks a giant grim troll, covered by a bright orange cloak. The others are also wearing robes and cloaks, each dyed a bright color, red, green, and blue. Grim listens closely. The speaker is telling a story about Vani, the god of battle. In the lost lands, before they became so lost, the warrior Vani and his earnest companion Cullen had many adventures together, both with the other Vanir and apart from them. This particular tale happened far to the south, in mountains full of warm springs, geysers, and pools, not entirely unlike the Well of Wisdom, yet far warmer. They came upon a pretty meadow with a quaint village and a problem. Soon after arriving, they learned of a nasty green dragon terrorizing the surrounding fields. But before they could speak with the town's leaders about assisting, they were asked first to drink from the lake, a body of warm water turned almost green from the minerals swirling within it. Vani stared at the lake, warmed as it was by a midday sun. The taking of the waters was, the villagers said, a way to bond the newcomers with the village, connecting their fate through the supposedly magical waters of the lake that sustained the community. Vani, having a preference for mead, nonetheless relented, and plunged his entire head into the waters, drinking deeply. Cullen, with perhaps an even greater preference for mead, only pretended to drink. As the two rose, the green dragon herself lunged from the waters and swallowed Cullen in a single bite. Vani's shock ended promptly, for he was perhaps the greatest warrior any lands, had known. He slew the green dragon swiftly, but not swiftly enough. Cullen was dead. And so, when it comes to oaths and deeds, there must never be any shirking of duty, for reprisal may well come in the form of fangs and claw. The congregation tells Grim they are on a pilgrimage to the lands above a city called Nowhere. They heard there is a shrine to the stone court there, and they must see it. She warns them of dangerous creatures lurking in the woods, but that's why they have the giant Grim Troll with them. His name is Darks, but the others like to call him Drax because they think he's a Grim Troll that likes to destroy. They think over the conversation and continue on their way. Meanwhile, Navala has sneakily found 19% of what she needs in brass. She hears a loud splash and rescues Latora from the water. Later, when Evan gets up for his watch, he finds Lotara in a corner, shivering with deep gashes around her neck and a pool of blood underneath her. He casts Speak with Animals and asks her what happened. It came in the night really fast. I don't feel so good. He feeds her a good berry. It's so cold. He wakes the party, and as we wake, we hear a howl from the woods. Calico does not appear. Navala and Grim heal Lotara, and Grim notices the gashes come from within. The black cat Luna appears, covered in blood. She is shaken, but has a very smug look to her, and does not look injured. Evan finds out that Lotara tried to eat Luna because she was hungry, and Luna clawed her way out. Navala picks the cat up. Oh, you poor little thing. Did the mean wolf scare you? She begins stroking it. It purrs loudly and rubs itself all against her, smearing the blood all over her. Looking at the wounds, we wonder if perhaps the cat can do magic. Is that right, little cat? Can you do magic? It gives another loud purr and starts making biscuits on her. Evan looks at the cat and repeats Navala's question. It just makes more biscuits, and he hears in his head, biscuits, 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 biscuits must make biscuits. He tries to block it out as he is hearing it constantly coming from the cat right now. Evan tells Lotara that Luna is part of her pack and not to hurt her or try to eat her. If she is hungry, she should go to him. He will feed her. She is hungry, so he feeds her a ration. She wants a bath and asks him to ask Navala to clean her with prestidigitation. Navala refuses, so Evan bathes her and questions Lotara's attachment to Navala, saying, not so nice, where she would not even waste even a moment of her time to clean you. Snack enchants Lotara's collar to play a little message. I'm hungry. Food, please, if she taps it with her paw. It goes off incessantly until Evan warns her to only use it when she is truly hungry. If she overuses it, we will deactivate it. She uses the collar to ask him for more food and then to beg from Navala. And she plops down at Navala's feet. We sleep, and those of us who can sleep start to dream. We are sitting around a campfire. Our campfire crackles and sputters and then becomes unnaturally quiet. A face forms in the flames. The man appears frustrated, though not angry, as he tries to speak. Yet his mouth does not move. The head turns and shakes, then looks back at us, his eyes tracking across all of us and settling on Sitha. His eyes widen and his mouth crooks upwards into a smile. Then the fire explodes, a brilliant blaze soaring at least 10 feet into the air. A kaleidoscope of colors erupts, brief scenes splashing across this fiery canvas. A great ship sits beneath a sky with no stars. An upside-down tower rises from a field of lava, and then a massive serpent rises. With a whoosh, the fire is extinguished as quickly as it formed. Due to the nature of the dream, in the morning Grim is incapacitated and is screaming, laughing, and weeping. She seems to be reliving her memories with Hulda. Navala ties her down to restrain her. She slaps her in the face in an effort to snap her out of it while Snack mothers over her. After 10 minutes, she snaps out of it. Evan retreats into his mind and becomes paralyzed. He is lying on the ground, struggling to speak. 7 minutes later, he snaps out of it. Grim returns to the ship and finds Calico. She asks him if he remembers what Muda said the other night. She looked off to the one side and said, remember, we had a deal. She is concerned there could be a traitor on board and asks him if he has a way of finding out who that is with Alden. He says he doesn't, but suggests taking a group oath. Snack says a prayer to Avalise. We don't know who that is, and beseeches her for a dream that will show that Avalise has dominion over dreams here in Grimnir. After Snack has finished praying, Navala asks her if she could turn the brass she has collected into a brazier. It will take 8 hours and cost 10 gold pieces. She instantly starts working on it. Sitha doesn't know why she's helping Navala, that mean lady, and Snack explains she's proving her worth. Midday, a crew member barks an alert while pointing to the shore. The river has widened considerably since the ambush, and it takes a moment before we see a lone raven sitting in the branches of a leaning aspen overlooking a small cove on the western shore. There is a scroll case tied around the bird's leg. Calico stops the ship, and the bird delivers the case to him. It contains part of a map, and on the map is written War Camp. It is on an island to the southeast of where we were told the war outpost is. We changed destinations to go there instead. Snack finishes crafting the brazier and delivers it to Navala. She impressed 2 of her claws on the bottom of it. It's her maker's mark. Navala puts 10 gold pieces worth of materials in the brazier and summons her familiar. An hour and 10 minutes later, as nighttime approaches, Luna starts hissing as a male tressum, which is a magical beast resembling a small winged cat, appears out of the brazier. It lands on Navala's shoulder. She is very happy to see it. She tells it it is a familiar and will be helping us. It is male and its name is Vim, but she also calls it Vimy. Snack says Vim in Draconic means vermin. She explains that in Panova, which is her world, the dragons who own them give them names that mean vile things. Like her name, Snackix, means worthless. She has shortened it to Snack, which means worthy. Grim asks Snack what dragons are. No one has heard of them on Grimnir. Snack explains that dragons are like her, but 50 times her size with great big wings. They can breathe things like fire out of their mouths, and they hoard things. Navala says Faerun also used to have dragons, but they are long extinct after a massive war. Grim says she had never heard of one until the night before and shares the story about Vani and Cullen and the Green Dragon. Snack wants to find the place in the story because dragons have hoards of many magical items and money. Luna and Latara are not happy about Vim and have bonded over their mutual hatred of him. Snack will call Vim Vimax, which means hunter. Sven tells Calico we'll be at sea in the morning. We stop for one last night and have a feast. As Navala falls asleep, she hears some deep growling and feels something try to climb into her lap before it takes off running, clawing her leg. She wakes up and sees Luna being chased by Vim. She takes a ration to try to calm them and holds it out. In a blink and you miss it moment, Latara grabs it and runs away. Navala hears, "I'm hungry, food please," fade into the distance. She dismisses Vim to a pocket dimension so she could get some sleep. The next morning, Evan remembers he has the map that Grim and Hulda got from Eagle the Tiefling who cut their nails and compares it to a regular map. He recognizes there is an X on a small island to the east of the one with the war camp. He shows Calico and we change course once again. A light snow falls and muffles most noise, creating a moment of lingering silence as the prow of the longship slides into the Serpent Sea. When the silence breaks, a crew member cries out for the sails to be unfurled. Then the longship lurches forward, caught by a strong wind, and the crew shouts in delight. Finally, at sea, water sloshes and sprays against the sides of the longship as it moves across the waters. Snack did not get any dreams from Avalis, almost as if her god does not exist in this world. Or maybe they just have a different name. We just make it to the island with the X by nightfall. It is the size of Manhattan. It is a 2 to 3 and take standard watches. The next day we go ashore. Latara whines and starts barreling north into the trees. We follow her for 20 minutes and she stops right in front of a clearing. In the clearing is a cave and we hear some snoring coming from it. Evan and Grim sneak towards it while the rest of the party hides out in the trees within sight of the cave entrance. As they approach, they are hit with an overwhelming scent of decay and rotting flesh. There's a large pile of dung at the entrance. They move in and Latara is slightly whining behind them. Grim, with her dark vision, sees an owlbear cub and what looks to be its parent. They do not look hostile. She tells Evan any casts speak with animals. He says, "Excuse us, we were only curious. We will leave you in your den in peace." He starts backing up and signals for Grim to do the same. Latara steps in front of them and sits on her haunches. Evan slowly reaches down and grabs her by the collar and starts pulling on her, and the owlbear cub makes a cry. Evan freezes. Latara asks him, "Play?" He tries to pull her again. "Play?" The cub makes another cry and they hear a deep growl coming from the parent. And now he hears the different voice of the owlbear cubs. "Play? Latara, play?" Evan slowly lets go of Latara's collar and she bounds towards the cub. The parent steps into view and stands protectively over both of them as they play between her front paws. It asks Evan if he has enslaved Latara, and he explains she willingly came with us and we've been taking care of her. The parent looks at Latara and their eyes meet. It looks like they might be communicating. It asks him what clan he is from, and he says he does not consider himself part of any clan. His family and he were isolationists. When it says his family did not tell him his history, he responds that he has a much more sordid history, but he doesn't know where he comes from. His family lineage goes way back, but he's more concerned with other things. The owlbear tells him there will be a time when he will be called to make a great